but I need to put this out there for all you guys that sit there and say, "Yo, new season, new map, bro." It's not a new map. Let's get that straight. Get that terminology out of your brain. It's not a new map. Welcome back, everybody, to Beers and Boss Battles. I'm Troy. That's Rob. We're going to be the hosts in today's review of Call of Duty.
Sweet.
Well, it's a review, pretty much.
So I understand. What's the difference between a review and a review?
Because it's Call of Duty.
Okay.
It's French for Le.
Le in the boudoir.
Well, all right. So here's the thing. We're going to cover that for you guys. There's obviously like a lot of new content that's come out. They have like a roadmap, which we have really just scratched the surface of, but there's a lot of cool stuff there. So we'll cover that in today's video. Before we get into any of that stuff, we're just going to serve you our concurrent video reminder. And just, if you haven't done it, go down, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, keep your notifications on for any of the videos we have coming out. If you haven't bothered to go and check it out, we actually just did a review of Outriders.
More of like an impressions.
Or
less,
yeah, I guess no,
less review, more impressions. But
yeah, that's fair to say.
We can do a follow-up video. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, my thoughts are not going to be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I cannot blame you because literally just like, not to go into a long story, but literally I played the game earlier and literally I was in the main menu loading into the game and my game crashed. So not the best sign, like however long out, like 3 weeks out, a month out.
But. Yeah, pretty rough. But in other news, we are going to also get into our beer. So, Rob, you usually start it off. So I think today's the day I go in. I'm going to get us cracking away. We have some Threes Brewing. This little guy. Oh, not really little. He's a big guy. So it's called Guilt by Association. So this is actually a collaboration beer. I didn't even notice that until just now. So this is actually from Creature Comforts Brewing Company and Threes Brewing. So this is a double IPA brewed with guava, pineapple, passion fruit, and tangerine, which sounds fucking great. I gotta just say that right now because I said in some of the other videos, pineapple is actually one of the like harder things to find in an IPA. Usually there's like Citra or Mosaic, Galaxy hops. This is like, I don't know, having anything in there with pineapple is always a plus. So let's get into this guy. I'll give you my thoughts. That's actually really good. So I'm gonna give a little bit more of my impression as I kind of get deeper into this. Maybe we'll like get back to that. For right now, this is great. I'm gonna take another sip just to give you an idea. So one thing I'll say with this, the guava is nice, and I'm not usually a huge guava person. It's good. It's like just enough, and you can really taste everything: the guava, the pineapple, the tangerine. What was the other one? Passion fruit.
What is guava?
Actually, guava lava. But passion fruit, I'm not tasting quite as much. But the pineapple and tangerine stick out like major, and for me, that's really big. I love that. So I'm actually gonna give this beer like probably a solid 9.5 right now. I mean, and I actually haven't been really doing too much beer recently, so this is a nice kind of I guess comeback beer for me. I haven't been drinking it like that.
You've been drinking some wine lately, right?
Yes, so that's actually worth bringing up. So I wanted to throw this out there for all of our 20 viewers that bother to come in and check us out. I do want to say, like we actually had a talk recently, and because I've been getting into wine so much more, red wine specifically, we figured what would be nice is maybe we have like a little surprise video. No, it's not really a surprise, but like a change up video where we do wine as opposed to beer. Maybe some like beer or wine and boss battles kind of thing. So we'll figure out how we want to do that, but that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, or like whiskey, and like it doesn't have to be beer, but it's still the same like idea. You know what I mean? Relaxing, having a nice alcoholic beverage, and video games. So It could be whiskey, it could be wine. I mean, there's probably some people out there that are all like, "Oh, I only like beer." Well, okay, if that's what you're about, that's okay. But for us, we have an open mind. We'll drink some wine. We'll drink some, liqueur.
Okay, well, so I was gonna
In the
say, so for all
boudoir.
you people out there that are like that, if you're just like, oh, I only really like beer, I was for the longest time, and that was really up until maybe a couple months ago, where I was the same exact way. I mean, if you've watched these videos, we only drink beer, right? I mean, as opposed to maybe like a cup of water in between some of our clips, but really more or less, we only drink beer. And when we meet up, we only drink beer. When I go out, when he goes out, only drink beer. And I did that for the longest time, but I gotta say, there's like, if beer is like anything else. I mean, it's like wine, it's like whiskey. It's an acquired taste. Once you get into it, you'll find something you like. And there's obviously more introductory kind of stuff. Like I wouldn't say get started on a double IPA if you've never had beer before. But I also wouldn't say to maybe have like a stronger, more bitter, uh, dry kind of wine if you've never had wine before. So it's just about like finding something that you really like that'll get you into it and get you introduced the right way, so you can start developing a palate and a taste for what you're having. And I'm going to say, like, it's so worth it. I'm so happy that I decided to not just stick to that, because there's some great whiskey out there. I've always kind of wanted to get into it, and that's another thing I got into recently. And like red wine is phenomenal. Definitely one of the best like pairs with food, especially if you're having like a nice steak, something like that. But anyways, I'll cover that more when we get to that video. But just keep your mind open. But in the meantime, Rob, what do we got? What's up?
Yeah, I'll throw it out there real quick too, guys. Give us your we've been asking in the promo videos that we do on Instagram and also YouTube as well. Pretty much anything. We're like, give us beer requests. So again, I suck. So my father gave a beer request for a particular beer. I have not been able to get my hands on it. I saw it in the store right before it requested it. Haven't been able to get it. But again, leave beer requests. Doesn't have to be beer. Could be wine. Could be whiskey. Whatever. Leave some requests in the comments. That would be really cool. Just throwing that out there. So for today, I have a beer. What I have is a Brooklyn Pulp Art Hazy IPA. And pretty much anything I've had from Brooklyn, I've always been very satisfied with. I've always enjoyed. So I kind of went in with pretty high expectations, and I got to be honest, I was not let down. Like, this is a very good, solid beer. If you like a hazy IPA, you're gonna like this. If you've had some Brooklyn brewery beers, you're probably not gonna be let down by this. I don't know if there's a description on here, but I mean, it's got a little bit of that sweetness. It's got that, the hoppy taste. Again, the hoppy taste is not like too strong. It's kind of exactly what you want. If you're into hazy IPAs, I think this is going to deliver exactly what you want. So I'm going to open this bad boy up. I had a few already. I don't know if anybody could tell. Maybe you could already tell. Like I've already had a few beers, going into this.
I don't think anybody could tell, but I mean, I'm glad that you.
Well, I'm throwing it out there. So, I mean, if you could tell, cool, good for you. If you couldn't tell, it is what it is. But here we go. This is probably like my fifth one tonight, but here we go. Yeah, man, that's just good. It's just solid. It's got a really subtle sweetness. It's not very strong, but like it complements the flavor. It's got that hazy taste. Again, the hoppy taste is not crazy strong. Like maybe some people you might want it to be a little bit stronger, but for me this works perfect. This is what is this? I think it's 6.5% alcohol. I think I saw in the box. I don't see it on the can right now. So it's kind of like right in the middle. Like it's not a super high alcohol content, but it's not super low either. But I got to say, man, like I'm really enjoying it. It's good. If you can get it near you, pick it up, man. Like if you like IPAs, I think you're gonna like it, man. It's a good beer, and that's kind of all I have to say about it.
All right, I'm gonna just touch back on this because I do feel like I rushed through my synopsis, right? So
I like it, man. What do we got?
So to reiterate, guava, pineapple, passion fruit, tangerine. Passion fruit, I'm tasting it like right kind of towards the end, right before the tangerine. So it's okay. So what I'm tasting when I'm drinking this, it's not very hazy. It's definitely like fruity. It's kind of the same ballpark, tropical, obviously based on the fruit selection. But so, you have the guava coming in
Tropically hoppy,
just enough. The guava's coming in just enough, like right in the beginning. The pineapple really takes the brunt of the flavor, which again, huge fan of. Love that. The passion fruit is kind of like right after the pineapple. It's like that. And I know it sounds super weird. This is how I'm tasting it, but it's almost like the passion fruit is like the bridge between where you're getting the pineapple, like for the brunt of the taste, and then the passion fruit kind of leads you right into the tangerine, which is that like where it tapers off, and you're getting the tangerine as the aftertaste and the end taste, which again, like super big fan of. So typically like orange, tangerine, pineapple, things like that you usually don't find in IPAs. Again, they're using Mosaic, Galaxy kind of hops, which is fine, but usually what pairs with those is like grapefruit. That's a huge one. Passion fruit is, and passion fruit's not as big as grapefruit. Grapefruit's huge though. So like things like that are more common to find, but when you have something like this where you have all these different flavors yet seem to pretty much work together very seamlessly to create a really good flavor for a collaboration beer, they did a phenomenal job. Like this shit is dope.
Well, what I would say is, I mean, I haven't had the beer, but based on what you're describing, it sounds like it's a pretty good crafted beer. Like you have all these different flavor profiles and they hit you at different times. Like to me, those are my favorite beers. Like, what do I taste right when I first have it? What is that aftertaste? Like for me, I think the aftertaste is such a big deal. Like if I can have a beer that has a great aftertaste, like that's usually a beer that I'm like, oh man, that's a go-to. So, I mean, it sounds really good.
Yeah, no, it's fucking dope. I really like it a lot. I think this is definitely one, if you can get your hands on it, I would definitely suggest. Now, as like our last video that we put out, I had a beer and I was not really blown away by it. I went with a pale ale, which if anybody knows me from watching these videos, I love that shit. Like, I think that's the way to go. But last time I had a real mean burp, by the way. But
sweet.
I wasn't really too blown away by it. I'll be honest, it was kind of a letdown. So I wasn't big on suggesting that. But this one, I would definitely, if you can find a way to get your hands on it. Obviously, this is it seems like it's a kind of like a limited edition beer because it's a collaboration effect. And usually with collab beers, they're harder to come by. So again, I'm not expecting anybody to be able to find it, but if you can, definitely go check it out. All that besides, everything here. Oh, nice. You were doing backgrounds. Yeah.
I'm going backwards and forwards here. I don't know. Yeah, let's go.
That's the fifth beer hitting him right here. He doesn't know what he's doing, guys. No, so all right, so we'll get cracking on our main topic of the day. That's obviously Call of Duty. We just came out with season 3 for the Black Ops collab with Warzone. I think without us listing, and usually what we do is we go down a list of like, this is what's happening and this is our I think the best way to approach this, obviously we're also trying to keep ourselves in a rhythm where we can keep these videos short and sweet for you guys, obviously packed with enough content, but short enough where you're not overwhelmed. You don't have to dive an hour to listen to us rant about a game. So I think the best way we'll go about this today is maybe we just kind of cover, what our thoughts are, some things that really pop out to us, things we like, things we don't like. Now, as a disclaimer for all of you guys, Rob has actually not played this very much. Today was his first time playing. We've played for maybe in total of 2 hours, if that.
Probably a little less, but somewhere around there.
Yeah, in that ballpark. I mean, we played really not that long. And I had played a little bit yesterday, maybe a total of 4 games. And that was really just because of the fact that I actually couldn't get into the game because of how flooded the servers were. I mean, there was like waiting queues and all kinds of stuff. But so he doesn't have much experience with this, but that's actually, I think, for the better. So I think this will really serve the purpose of giving you guys a good first impression of what we're looking at here. And then maybe down the line, as things start to kind of reveal themselves and we get a little bit more acclimated to the meta, we can kind of cover this again in a future video. Obviously, we cover a lot of Call of Duty stuff, being that is what we play the most of. But so I'll shut the fuck up. Rob, what are your thoughts? What do we got? Like, what are we looking at?
Oh man, this is like, I almost wanted you to start this one off, and I was going to play off of what you said. So I'll give kind of like early impressions. So for anybody that does not know, Warzone had an update, 2 or 3 days ago. It's kind of a new map, but it's kind of not a new map.
Please don't use that terminology. I don't like that. Can we just hold on before you say anything? Can I just say this for everybody, please?
Why don't you start us off?
No, because you don't have as much information. So I would like you to. I'll build off of you. I have more. So I'm gonna say but I need to put this out there for all you guys that sit there and say, "Yo, new season, new map, bro." It's not a new map. Let's get that straight. Get that terminology out of your brain. It's not a new map. It's an updated or revised version of a map that was prior available. Like, this is not something that's brand new to us. It's not like we go from Verdansk to, you know, Czechoslovakia. Like,
Ural Mountains. Weren't there rumors about Ural Mountains or whatever? Like,
so which, okay, I don't know what they're leading up towards. I'm sure that down the line they'll eventually do that. I'm just saying with Fortnite, with Warzone, a lot of these battle royales, they don't release new maps, guys. They're just making changes to the map that already exists. The actual area of the map does not change. The design of the rim of the map does
well,
not
here's
change.
what's even funnier. So we say that like the term new map. So it's new to us, but technically in this map specifically, it's going back in time. So it's going back to 1983. So it's not really a new map, it's an old map if you think about it, or it's it's back in time map. Well, and then part of me thinks that's pretty cool. And I'll give my impressions again based on like maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours of gameplay. I like the way it looks. I think it runs pretty smoothly. I would say we're 2 days out, so it's running pretty smooth. Coming from a game like Outriders, where literally I'm loading into the main menu and I'm crashing. So I mean, everybody talks crap about games, but I mean, the game is running pretty damn smooth considering how many people are playing it. I mean, I think Nick Merckx. I think I tuned in the day the map came out or the update came out, whatever you want to call it. Dude, he had like 160,000 concurrent viewers. So, I mean, there's a lot of people tuning in to even just watch the freaking game, let alone play the game. So, I would say compared to most games I've seen, it seems like it's running very smoothly right off the bat, and I'll give them credit for that. Graphics look pretty cool. The redesigns that I'm seeing for the areas. So, let's break it down really simply. It is the map that you know. It is Verdansk. But some areas are altered. So when you go to stadium, it's kind of like under construction. It's not the stadium that you know that's already built. It's kind of like this older 1983, version of the map. Now you go to like where the dam area would be. There's not even a dam. You might go to downtown or something and everything looks different. You might go to Quarry and what's it called now? Salt Mine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, they even renamed some of the areas. So it's kind of a cool blend of like the map, but kind of updating it. And let's be real. Games like Fortnite have done this. I mean, Fortnite is notorious for, even to this day, there are elements of that first map still in the current map. I mean, they have never like said, here's your original map and we have a brand new map for you. And maybe that's something that you like and maybe that's something you don't like. So like for me, my opinion is I think it's kind of cool to put out a completely different map. Like Apex has done that. Apex Legends. They have put out 3 entirely different maps. It's not a reskin. It's not different. It's not edited. It's a different map. And to me, that's something respectable, and I think that's cool. Now, there's another part of me that says, hey, it's kind of cool to take something we're familiar with and kind of edit it in different ways and make it, fresh so it's different, but it's kind of the same. So that's kind of cool too. But, like the Call of Duty, the Warzone fan in me, I think it would have been cooler to get a brand new map. That's not what we got. So let's take what we got. So what did we get? We got a map that is updated, and it's going for a theme that is kind of set in the 80s. And I think that's kind of cool. I mean, again, I'm not deep into it. I'm only a couple hours into it, but I kind of like the way the map looks. Everything seems to run pretty good. Weapons seem pretty cool. We're gonna have to learn the meta, to see what weapons are the best, because we always know week to week, month to month, the meta is always different. There's always different weapons that are being updated. Some are being buffed, some are being nerfed. I'm hearing the Kara sniper is maybe a little better than it was, even though it was always pretty good. I'm hearing that the Farah 83, is that the name of it? The assault rifle, that might be buffed. I'm hearing the AK, the Cold War AK 47 has been buffed. So I look forward to kind of messing around with that gun. But I would say for a Warzone guy who's into Warzone, um, it's cool to have something new. It's cool to have a new map, new meta to play in. But I would say for anybody else who's kind of on the fence and maybe you're not a hardcore Warzone person, like, is this something that's going to make you be like, okay, I have to play this game? Okay, yeah, like I haven't been playing it, but now I got to get in on it. I got to be honest, I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be the thing that's going to make you say, hey, I play Fortnite or I play Apex, but I'm going to play Warzone now. There's a new, no, I don't think so. I think it's kind of just something to kind of hold over the hardcore fan, keep them, happy, keep them satisfied for, a certain amount of time. So they'll hang around and maybe we'll actually get a brand new map at some point, or maybe we'll get a 2.0 for Warzone and it'll be a big update. I don't know. But I would say based on a very limited amount of time, and who knows? I mean, maybe we'll do another episode in a week and I'll be like, yo, I picked up on A, B, and C, and I like this or I don't like that. But where I'm at right now is I'm happy to have the update. It's better than nothing. I think it's cool. I look forward to seeing how I feel about it as time goes on, but it's nothing that's blowing me away. And it's nothing that I don't think it's going to bring any like new people in, or I don't think it's going to bring old people back that played the game previously. Like, I don't think it's going to make them be like, oh, I have to play the game again now. Like, I don't think there's anything that's like blowing anybody away. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
So I would say that a lot of what I feel is very much in the same realm as what you feel. I okay. So my my impression, although very much alike, I would say does serve as a reason for people to play. That's the only real difference, I'd say. But I think a lot of what you talked about, visual changes, infrastructural changes with certain areas of the map, things like that, I think they did a good job with. I will say that I do think that they went the easy route in terms of, hey, instead of making a brand new map, which I think everybody's been looking forward to. I mean, think about it. People play, and so I'm just going to touch on this real quick, but people play Rebirth just for the fact that it's not Verdansk. It doesn't have to do with the fact that you come back, or it has nothing to do with that. It has
Yeah,
to do
your brother Kyle. I mean, he almost seems like he wants to just play that. Every time I play with him, he's happy to play that just because it's something different.
Yeah. So I think that that's like, I think people look forward to having a brand new experience. And now, granted, let's talk about Rebirth even for a second. That's not a new map. That was Alcatraz. That was available in Black Ops 4 Blackout. So that's not really a new map. I mean, again, same idea.
No, they added nighttime, man.
They added.
What are you talking about? It's new, man.
Well, so anyways, there have been a couple big things I think that are worth noting. So when I say that they took the easy route, I'm not saying that they didn't do a good job, or when I say, oh, it's not a new map, that it's a bad map. And in no way am I implying that. I think they made a lot of actually like necessary changes to the game. I think that these were things that needed to happen, and I think that these are things that people liked or are liking. And I think that is going to provide an incentive for people that maybe were playing the game prior, that stepped away, to really come back into the fold. And I could be completely wrong about that. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll find out in time. But for me, what I'm seeing is, so right now, a couple of the bigger things that come to mind when I talk about this new experience, new map, right? One is the aesthetic. So right off the rip, the hue of the game is different. So whereas before it was kind of this like bleak, dull, realistic kind of thing, now it's like this I don't know that you'd call it, it's not really sepia, or it's more of, it's almost like a weird tint that they put on the coloring and the way that the game aesthetically looks. So when you're playing, and anybody that's played the game prior coming back in, you'll notice it right away. Like, this is not something that you're gonna have to look out for. You'll see it right away. Obviously, the design of a lot of things have changed, whether it's the buses you find on the map where you can go in and find crates and money, or it's the police stations. So what we do know about Warzone is this. there are 1,000 of the same type of building. There's 1,000 of the same police stations copied and pasted all over the map. There's 1,000 of those dual co-op buildings that you run up the stairs and you have to keep running up and up and up. And there's those two little areas you can climb up the ladder and you come out onto the roof and it's
Yeah.
a metal roof. There's a million of those and whatever. My point being is that what I do like about the fact that so I don't like that they kept it, but what I do like is that because they kept it, they decided to change not only the way it looks, but actually the infrastructure of it. So where the rooms are, how many windows are in the place, are there doors on certain things, are there not doors on certain things,
They added ladders in and stuff
ladders, and so
to
accessibility
different
to the
areas.
building
Yeah.
makes it's actually easier now. Places are much more accessible, which is a good and bad thing. I think it's a great thing for just simply because, I mean, we all know if you played Warzone, there are just certain areas that are so inconvenient to try to get to that it literally is pointless and you will die trying to get there. But now, because they're allowing more accessibility, there's more options so that you don't have to run up one staircase. Maybe you can climb up the side ladder. So you can plan your attacks and your pushes a little bit differently, which I think is cool. It makes obviously for some diversity in the way you play. As far as the guns go, yes, the AK for Cold War is seems like it's doing really well. It seems like that's going to be a big part of the meta. The FAR did get buffed. The new sniper is apparently very good. I forgot what the name of that one was. I'm really looking forward to the PPSH. I think that is going to be a meta dominant gun.
Yeah, it
Now,
seems like it. That's the new Mac 10.
it seems like, yeah, so it seems
Yeah.
like that gun's going to really reign supreme. I mean, again, we're so early on, and I've maybe allotted myself a total of like 5 hours to really get into this. So I'm not entirely sure, where my feelings are going to lie.
I mean, this
but
for everybody. I mean, this is like early impressions. I mean, we're like literally a couple days in.
yeah, and
So
I'm also not a big follower of the big YouTube and Twitch guys. I mean, I do stream myself, which I actually haven't been doing very much of recently, but I do plan on getting back into that soon. I'm actually next week, I'm gonna get myself a new capture card. Rob will actually get a new capture card, so maybe even he'll get my capture card, but then maybe he'll start streaming.
I will.
Anyways, so all that aside, I do think that what they have done a good job of with the meta and the guns is that they've balanced things out quite a bit. I don't think that there's anything where I was like, wow, that's just too much. Whereas like with the DMR, that was too much. The AUG, too much. The MAC when it came out, too much. I mean, right now it doesn't seem like there's anything too much. I think it's actually pretty fair. I mean, even the M16.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
The M16 did not seem like it got nerfed.
Here's what I heard. I heard it was nerfed in terms of like the fire rate. That's what I heard.
Well,
I heard it wasn't even the damage. It was more like the fire rate. And I would say, depending on what barrel you put on it, like I've played with like 3 different barrels, the longest range one, the fastest fire rate one, and whatever was in the middle. So for someone like me, who I love the M16, I use it. It's probably like not even going to impact me that much. So
yeah. So I mean, I think right now we're still in the process of obviously figuring out what exactly the meta is going to be, and it's up to change, right? I mean, this could, like you mentioned earlier, I mean, this could really take a turn in about a week. I mean, we might see something completely just jump off the scene. And it's like, wow, we didn't even realize, we looked at patch notes. We didn't even realize how good this gun actually was until we started playing with it. So I think there's a lot of optionality that's going to come with time and as we start to see. But if they can kind of stick to the same method that they're doing right now, which is just creating a balance where all guns are pretty much viable, I think that's going to be good. Again, we'll see what the OP thing is soon enough, and I'm sure you'll just see it because people will start killing you with it if you watch those kill cams. But regardless, I think we're in a good spot. As far as the actual gameplay, it is as smooth as ever. Nothing really big in terms of mechanical changes, if any at all. I don't see anything like that. I did happen to realize, and this happened to me and Rob actually just before. Now, I don't know if this is the case, but it does seem like maybe your airstrikes are able to go through buildings now. Now, obviously, there are glitches where you'll be in a staircase in a building and somehow the precision hits you. That happens once in a while, but I mean, we were in a building and we were in 2 completely different locations and got, well, two two different completely floors or completely
Yeah,
different
like
floors
like
and
he was
different
at
spots.
least whatever a few floors above me, and I was floors above him, and we were both doing what we would always do if someone called in either an airstrike or a cluster. And you kind of find a corner and you get away from whatever open area, and we both got auto down by it, like at the exact same time.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what that means, and that could just mean that hey, maybe it was just a glitch.
Yeah,
Maybe it
maybe
could
we're
have been,
unlucky.
yeah,
Who
I mean, we could have
I
been
don't know.
unlucky. That's definitely something to look out for. If you find yourself in either of the Virgin Towers and you get an airstrike called on you, those staircases
Virgin
are not safe.
Towers.
Um,
For anybody that's not familiar, um, these are the towers that people love to camp. There's a buy station located right between them. It's near Superstore. Um, actually, is it near? No, it's not near Superstore.
well, it's
It's
not.
kind
It's
of
not. It's not Superstore.
no, it's not near Superstore. It's kind of like southeast of Superstore. I'm not describing it well, but if you know what it is, you know what it is.
Anyways, yeah. So that was a weird thing. But all in all, I think the game's in a good spot right now. I think it is worth checking out. If you guys haven't bothered to play the game, if you know whether you know uninstalled it or you didn't bother to update your game, like I would definitely suggest for all of you that haven't been a part of the experience, go out there and check it out. I mean, it might be for you. um, I will touch on real quick before we close out that I think with what they did with Quarry being Salt Mine, now the dam being Summit, I actually really like that. And I think that if they followed that trend moving forward and really completely redesigning and reconfiguring areas and renaming them, I think that would make for the best possible experience. Obviously, because we're going to be looking forward to it. I mean, you you want something fresh, something new. I mean, a game like any other game can get very stale very quickly, right? And especially when we're looking forward to a new map and then it's the same map with a couple of revisions. It's hard for you to walk away from that with a good taste. So now, granted, I will say again though, they have made a lot of changes. There are certain areas that are like replicas. I mean, it's nothing changed at all.
Yeah.
But
It's
for
like
most of the
maybe
big
like
names,
the skin for like the what the paneling on the side of the wall is different, but yeah, it's the same.
yeah. So a lot of it is cosmetic, but there are some big infrastructural changes that I think are worth noting, and I think they did a very good job with that. And obviously, the redesigns of some of those named areas. Again, though, I would definitely suggest for all you guys, if you haven't bothered to check it out, go check it out. It is a
Yeah,
lot of
like if
fun.
you haven't played the game in a while, here's a good excuse to play it again. You know what I mean? There's something fresh, updated map, new meta, play it again if you haven't played it in a while.
But all in all, that's really my thoughts on it, man. I would say I need to give it a little bit more time for it to settle in. I also want to check out the new zombies, see what that looks like. I haven't even bothered to check out. I don't really play Cold War at all. I play it simply for leveling up weapons. But I'm sure for all you guys that are really big into that multiplayer scene, there are some cool things happening there too. Obviously, Double XP this weekend. We're recording on the 23rd. That's a Friday of April. And if this video, which I hopefully will come out tomorrow on the 24th, you guys should definitely try to get on this as soon as possible. At least so if you do decide that you really like it and you want to start grinding stuff out, you have the best opportunity to do so. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me.
LC10, right? LC10 is coming back. Seems
LC10
like.
seems like it's making a comeback, man. Yeah, LC10 seems pretty good.
Yeah, so like
M13
some
too.
M13. So M13 I have not played around with as much. So for anybody who's seen this YouTuber, I'll give a shout out. His name is Jack Frags. He put together a video. It's got to be like a month ago, something like that. M13 with like a sniper scope on it. I don't remember the exact attachments for it, but I was playing around with it today. I played around with it a few times. It's pretty damn good. And if the M13 does indeed come back and become some sort of a like decent meta weapon, play around with that, man. Look it up. But I would say for everybody, keep on the lookout, see what the meta is. We got some new updated, things to the map. Again, not a brand new map, but there's some new fresh stuff there. There's some fun to be had. See if you like it. Again, Double XP load it up. It's a free to play game. It's not like you have to pay for it, so it's literally free.
Mhm.
So that's what I would say. And again, reminder, give us some beer requests, wine requests, whiskey requests, whatever, man. It don't
And
have to be beers.
game requests. If you want us to talk about a game, let us know. We'll play it. I mean, we have pretty much any and every system between the two of us, if not
Except
every.
the new systems. And neither
But
of
I
us have been
mean,
able to
that
get
doesn't
them
even really
yet.
count because they don't have titles. So we don't, that's I'm not worried
That's a
about
good
that.
point. Yeah, like there's nothing exclusive. What do you have? You have a revamped version of Demon Souls for the PS4 5. Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
but more or less, if you guys have any requests in general, whether it's from the drinks to the games, if you have, or even just questions, if you want to just bullshit and talk about some stuff, feel free to reach out to
You
us.
guys want to hop in and play?
Yeah,
Hop in a Warzone game and play with us? Hit us
yeah,
up, man.
yeah. Let us know. We're gonna leave all of our tags and handles. I'm actually just gonna leave that in the description. It is a little tedious to have to label everything out in the video, so I'm just gonna leave
The
everything.
Every Gamer, guys. See this? Look, whoa. The Every Gamer. That's right there. That's my gamer tag. That's my Instagram. Look me up.
Yeah. So we're gonna cut it here for you guys, but we do look forward to hearing from you. Again, any suggestions, any comments, questions, whatever, leave that for us. Also, just as a reminder, if you haven't done it, please do hit that subscribe button. It goes a very long way for us. We're still on the build up. Obviously, it's been some time, but every single like or subscribe or whatever it is, any bit of contribution on your end goes a long way for us, and it is really the reason why we do it. As Rob fades in and out with the Brooklyn pulp art. But until next time, guys, we hope that you're.
I mean, I'll be honest, everybody. It's part of the reason I do it, but I mean, for me, like these are conversations that me and Troy will have regardless. So why not record them and share them and see if you guys enjoy them? So yes, like you guys matter, but you guys kind of don't matter at the same time.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Like
I
I'm
mean,
not trying to make you feel bad, but like this is a cool thing for us to do, regardless of what happens. But if you guys would join in on the conversation, get involved, that would be that much better. It would be awesome. Hey, we're open to guests too. We've had guests before. It's been a while, but we would like to have guests too. So if you see the video and you want to be a guest, kind of give your input on whatever kind of game, whatever game it is, whatever topic we're talking about, that would be awesome too.
yeah.
Hit us up. We're super open-minded.
Yeah.
So
But as I was saying before, I was really interrupted. That until the meantime, we hope you guys are obviously drinking some good beer or good drinks at all, some good whiskey, some good wine. Again, make those suggestions, and that you guys are playing some dope ass games. Go check out that new Modern Warfare, or I'm sorry, Cold War
or don't.
Warzone
Or don't.
update, or don't. But regardless, I think it's worth checking out. And we'll see you guys in the next video.